when we're using a for loop to take a look at a string or a list, we have a couple of different options in Python. So let's say we have the string opossum, super cool animal, only marsupial in the Americas. We have two options. So we can say, for I or care or whatever we want to call this is just a variable. I mean, we could say for care in S, or we could say for I in range from 0 to the length of S. Um, these are our two options, and in this case, our accounting variable, and here is care, here is I, is going to take on different values. In this loop for care in S, or we could call it I, whatever you want to do, but our accounting variable is going to be the first time through the loop, it's actually going to be the letter O. Then it's going to be the letter P, then the letter P, then the letter O, then the letter S, then the letter S, then the letter U, then the letter M. It's just going to be the value of that character at each time through the string. Whereas in our using our range function in our loop actually creates a list for us. The range function returns a list. It makes a list where the values of I are generated in a list starting at 0, which is our start value, and it goes to the length 1 before the length of S. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to stop at 7. The length is 8. So we're actually going to go, our list is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be a 5, a 6, a 7, and wait, 2, 4, 6, 8. We're not going to include 8 because we want to go from 0 to 7. So the length of S happens to be 8 in this case. So we would get the same if we said from 0 to 8, but this could change. If say S is a user input and it changes, we always want to make it equivalent to the length just in case it changes. So in this case, our counting variable I, we could call it care, we could call it whatever we want. We call it I for index because really that's what it is. It's going to be first the index of 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's supposed to be a 6, and then a 7, which is corresponds with the indexes in our string 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first time through, it's I is the index of the O, then it's the index of the P, then it's the index of the P, then it's the index of the O, the S, the S, the U, the M. To get the letter, we would actually say something like, let's say we want to print the characters. In this case, we would print S sub I. To print the character, when we just use for I and S or for care and S or whatever you want to call it, we would actually just print care or I, whatever, right? So this actually gets us direct access to the characters, which is sometimes what we want, but more often what we want is to have access to both the index and the character itself. We can use I to actually give us what the index is, to know what index we're at, and we can use the name of the string sub I. We can use indexing to actually get to that character. So this is a little bit more powerful. There is a way in Python we could actually enumerate and get both the position and the character back just using the in function. In is actually pretty powerful. We're also using it over here, but in conjunction with the range function. But Python just has some extra options for how we want to handle looping through strings and similarly looping through lists using a for loop. But these are the two main ones we've seen in this class, being able to do just using for some variable in some string or some list and access either the characters or the elements of the list directly, or we can use some counting variable in a range. Usually when we're talking about lists and strings, we want to go from the beginning to the string to the end of the string, and then the counting variable will equal the indexes, and the string using indexing will actually give us the characters itself. So two different ways to use to loop through lists and strings, and which one you choose depends on what you want to use it for. If you only need the characters, this is fine. If you're going to need the index and the character for something in your code, you're going to want to use something like for I in range, or using enumeration to be able to return both the position and the character. So hopes this helps clear up any confusion about the two different types of for loops you're likely to see in our textbook, and happy programming.